to spend the next few minutes building a rubber band gun. Yep, a rubber band gun. So what we see here is a picture of a person doing an overhead squat, okay, or receiving a snatch, either one. So this particular movement or this particular task is very demanding on a lot of people. So we want to kind of show you this continuum of what you need. What is it that you have to possess to be able to do this? Because there are a lot of people that cannot get in this position, okay? Whether it's with a PVC pipe over their head or 300 pounds over their head, okay? A lot of people cannot do this. So ultimately, we've narrowed it down to 4 things that you really need to have in order to get into this position. And we're going to relate those 4 things with creating a very functional rubber band gun. So in order for me to create a functional rubber band gun, well, I need to have enough mobility. Okay, the band has to stretch far enough to make it over my finger. Okay, if it doesn't, it's too tight or there's mobility restrictions for whatever reason, then I can't create that function. Okay, same can be said in the squat. If you have ankles that are too tight, they don't dorsiflex enough, then it's going to be very tough to get in that position. If your shoulders or your thoracic spine is too tight, then again, it's going to be almost impossible to get into that position. Okay, so we have to address mobility issues if they exist. Now I can sit there and I can spend time doing different techniques to get myself more mobile. Okay, maybe it's soft tissue work, maybe it's some static stretching, maybe it's just trying to decrease that neural drive to some of those tissues that are overactive. Okay, whatever it may be, I can address those things and ultimately get to the point where now I have the mobility that's necessary to get into those positions. Now, something else that I may need is stability. Okay, now I have to have enough strength and integrity throughout the various joints and the core to be able to get into this position. Okay, so again, this is a very demanding position for the stabilizations through the shoulders, through the spine, through the hips, through the ankles. All these things have to be able to stabilize to maintain control in this position. So for my rubber band gun, I've got that mobility now, but when I get it hooked on, it just doesn't stay stable. Okay, that stability just isn't there. So I need to do something to address that. Maybe it's working on some shoulder stability. Maybe it's ankle stability. Whatever it may be, we can address that and we can get stronger. Okay, so we've gotten to that point. We're flexible enough. Now we've got that stability to control it. Okay, but maybe we have another issue that needs addressed. Motor control. Okay, so for an overhead squat, obviously it takes some coordination, right? You got to be able to control these different segments. You got to be able to tell your knees not to completely cave in. You got to be able to tell your head not to just fall to the floor. It's going to pull everything else with it. So you got to know how to control your body in space, right? To create my rubber band gun, same thing. I'm flexible and stable, but I just can't seem to figure out how to get it where I want it to get it, or even if I get it there, but I don't know how to shoot it, that's a motor control issue. Okay, so we can drill that. We can work on specific drills. We can keep just doing repetition after repetition. Taking good cues from good coaching also helps. So once we got that under control, we're there, right? So let's imagine that our posture is off. Okay, so for some people, if you already have a postural issue with an overhead squat, it's going to affect your range of motion particularly. So maybe it kind of plays in with that mobility. So obviously, if it does play in with that mobility, and you come in and you've already got kind of a set posture, maybe you're kind of rounded over and you got some thoracic kyphosis or whatever it may be, it's just going to make it that much more difficult to get into that position. So for my rubber band gun, maybe the posture is off, right? Maybe this would be ideal. Maybe this is the posture coming in with. So it may function, but it certainly is not going to be optimal, right? So this isn't going to shoot as straight with poor posture as it would if it was nice and tight and in an ideal position. So that's where posture plays in. Now, obviously, there's some things that we can do to address postural issues, whether it's some kind of restorative exercise or whatever it may be. But just functional movements in general can help to auto-correct some postural issues. So once we've kind of got all those things addressed and we see this continuum, well, then we are ready to go out and do stuff with that functional rubber band gun. So in life, you're ready to go out and do overhead squats. or whatever else it may be. So I hope you guys got something out of that. I thought it was pretty cool. If you ever see anything like this on YouTube, no, they stole it from me. So what is today? June 20th. Happy birthday, Pat. If anyone sees this, boom, reference me. All right, guys, signing out.